So, hi, good afternoon, everyone. So, today we will be having a very special interview. This is one of our successful hires for Mandarin Possession, and I personally love this interview because Mr. Joseph received a lot of job offers from different companies. So, he's a very in-demand applicant in JK Network. So, we will be asking him questions about his learning Mandarin. At the same time, we will be asking him questions on how he landed a job in the Philippines. Hi, Mr. Joseph. Good
Hel-
afternoon.
Hello po, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Mr. Joseph, can you please introduce yourself in Mandarin language?
Okay, 我叫Joseph，今年27岁，来自 Cagayan de Oro.
Mm-hmm. Okay po. And do you have any Chinese blood or are you from Chinese family?
No, ma'am, I'm a pure Filipino, and my family is Filipino also, so no Chinese.
I understand. So you don't have any Chinese blood. So what made you interested in learning the Mandarin language?
At first, ma'am, my parents forced me to enroll in a Chinese school here in Cagayan de Oro. And then in the latter part, I didn't realize the importance of this language. So when I went to China, I saw the importance of a Chinese language, or even knowing some languages that apart from Chinese. So, doon ko nakita yung mga foreigners who are eager to learn those things na hindi nila alam. I'm really really inspired sa kanila, and then do my best to really speak well, even though I do have so many difficulties when it comes to speaking, pero that doesn't stop me from learning again and again. So, continuous learning Chinese.
Wow, that's really great po. So, Mr. Joseph, I'm really curious. We have many languages in the world. Right now, I think many Filipinos are very interested in Japanese. So, why Mandarin out of a lot of languages?
It's not just about the language, but it's about the culture. The Chinese culture is very rich, and at the same time, the language itself is very very yung parang you need to follow those kind of tones. You need to really express yourself. You need to follow those standards. Yun, parang nabibighani ka sa language itself eh. And when you learn to love the language, you really need to parang you're destined to that language, ma'am eh. So either Chinese ba to, or any language sa whole world. So it depends on the connection na mabibuild mo.
I understand. Sir, you mentioned that your parents forced you to study the language. So, how about you? When did you realize that you love the language and you're passionate in learning it?
When I was in college, ma'am, I realized the importance of it. It was really hard, to tell you honestly. They don't know how to speak English there in China, so I really need to study. But in the latter part, I already answered that one already. I mentioned it a while ago that I saw those other foreigners who are eager to learn this language. I mean, so ako rin na-inspire ako. Okay, I have this opportunity. Why don't I just study and love and accept this culture? I think naman there is a positive result naman.
Opo. Wow, I understand. So, sir, you mentioned nga you studied in China. How long did you stay in China?
It was 4 years, ma'am.
So 4 years of intensive studying of Mandarin.
Yes po, ma'am.
I see. And was it hard to study Mandarin language?
It's just like any other subject, ma'am, that if you don't put yourself into that, or you don't put effort or passion, or you will not put any considerations in that any kind of subject, then it will really be hard. But when you start liking, loving, and accepting those things, then eventually hindi siya magiging hard sa'yo eh. It's just a part of your routine and part of your life already. So why don't you start loving and liking Chinese language?
That's very good po, no? So that's very inspiring kasi po, you came from zero Mandarin.
Yes po.
And then after a few years, you're very fluent. I have a lot of clients who interviewed you and they mentioned that you're really one of the best applicants they interviewed.
I don't know if I
Yeah.
will agree to that, but thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Mhm.
to for those nagsabi na, na okay ako. But when it comes to having this kind of opportunities, you really need to do your best. Don't just go in an interview that you're not even prepared. So don't go in a battle when you're not even prepared. So you really need to do your best, prepare, just prepare and then study. Ganun lang.
It's very good po. So sir, let's talk about your working experience, no? Do you have any corporate working experience using Mandarin in the Philippines?
To tell you honestly, ma'am, I don't have any experience in a corporate world. That's why I risked myself on venturing new things, especially in this corporate world. That oh my, there's so much for me to study, and actually there's a lot of challenges, a lot of new things that I don't know, but it doesn't stop me from learning those things eh. So it's continuous learning lang, ma'am. And then eventually magiging ano rin yan, masasanayan mo na rin yan.
So sir, you mentioned you're from Cagayan, right?
Yes, ma'am, Cagayan de Oro po.
Work in your previous company for how many years?
uh, Almost 6 years, ma'am.
6 years. So were you aware that there are a lot of bilingual job openings, especially in Mandarin?
Yes, I do. I do. I am aware. I am aware of those opportunities. But I actually chose to focus muna for 6 years on teaching those Filipino students in learning Chinese. Kasi I saw myself in them. They were struggling pa. So I helped them to really love Chinese. So I decided na after 6 years, I think I've done my part.
That's very good to hear. So, sir, how did you find a job in the Philippines? Especially right now, it's pandemic. Everyone is having a hard time looking for a job. How about you? How were you able to land a job?
I am very, very, very thankful, especially Ma'am Rana, who helped me a lot on these things na parang mag-find talaga ng companies that na pinaka-best sa suit sa akin, kung ano ba yung tama para sa akin. And then, Ma'am Rana was very patient sa akin na parang, oh, paano ba to? Paano ba ganito, ganyan? So, parang she never gave up on me. So, with those kind of that kind of agent na who will try to help you, ikaw rin as an aspirant na parang okay, I need to motivate myself na gagawin ko, maghahanap ako ng company na ino-offer sa akin. And then luckily na natanggap ako sa isang prestige na company, and then thanks to JK Network, especially to Ma'am Rana.
I'm very happy to hear that, no? So, sir, we know it's hard to find a job right now, especially you are located in the province. Were you able to land a home-based job?
Yeah, I have in Cagayan de Oro, but again, when in amidst this pandemic, no, we really need to be creative enough to use our internet, use our social media to find jobs. And luckily, I found a JK Network, and then eventually helped me in achieving my goal and dreams in life.
I understand po. So, sir, you've been working in your company for 6 years, and you mentioned that it will be your first time to really be in a corporate setting. Is it a challenge?
There's a big change actually, ma'am. That when you are used to something na
Mhm.
parang you're used to it na. So medyo mahihirapan ka mag-adjust. But eventually, when there are changes, I easily adapt. You don't need to stick to this kind of position na parang it will not make you be parang happy. So you need to adapt. Always adapt. So kahit anong venue pa yan, kahit mapa-work from home pa yan o mapa-office pa yan, you really need to adapt.
I understand. So, you have been attending interviews, and those interviews were really successful. Isa ka po sa mga super good candidates that we have. Was the interview conducted in English or mostly in Mandarin?
There
With
were
your experience.
those English, and after that, Chinese interview. Before those interviews, ma'am, you really need to prepare. Kasi bilingual ka eh. So you need to prepare on how to set yourself in parang how to respond in English and how to respond in Chinese. So you really need to do your best when it comes to English and Chinese language.
Now I know po why you kept on passing your interviews because you always go prepared.
Again, ma'am, you really need to prepare.
Ayan, that's a very good tip. So, sir, may we ask, we understand there's a confidential information, but can you please give us a little background of what you do every day in your current job?
Hint na lang.
What? Na lang.
May kinalaman sa financial.
Mm-hmm.
So, mahirap siya, but laban lang. Yun lang.
I understand. So, sir, related siya sa financial, but do you have background in finance?
Wala akong background sa financial, no. But again, the cure of an ignorant person is actually to learn. So you really need to learn. Kahit hindi mo siya kabisado, practice lang ng practice. I was advised by my manager na I know hindi mo siya kabisado, pero you really need to learn. And I told him naman na, don't worry, sir. Hinire mo ako eh. So I'm willing to do my best.
That's very good po. So, does it mean po that there are a lot of opportunities to bilinguals, even they don't have a certain background, as long as they have the language, there would be a lot of doors to be open for them?
I myself is not really parang fluent talaga in Chinese because ang dami ko pang isa-study. There are formal words na hindi ko alam. But again, you really need to study and learn. So for those bilinguals na kagaya ko na nahihirapan rin, you just need to study, pause, think, and do something na level up mo yung sarili mo na para naman makuha ka sa isang kumpanya na deserve mo naman.
That's very good to hear po. I think you're working with one of the biggest companies in the Philippines, right?
Yes, ma'am. Kaya na-pressure ako.
I understand po. So what do you think is the advantage if someone knows Mandarin in the workplace? Ano po yung competitive advantage nyo?
You got to have higher salary, but may kapalit yan. So the pressure is there kasi you need to translate those things na dapat i-translate. And then the advantage is they have more respect sa'yo. Kasi parang this person is not parang may alam siya sa mga ganitong mga aspeto na hindi namin alam. So ganun, they have more respect sa'yo. So especially sa akin na oh my God, I am a Filipino tapos na marunong ako mag-Chinese. So ganun, na parang nasashock sila sa akin. Na ako naman, ikaw naman na ito yung tandaan mo. Ikaw naman na may ganitong mga abilidad. You just stay humble lang. Humble lang always. You don't need to be parang showcase yourself na ganito ganyan. Because ma-earn mo naman yung respect nila eh. Eventually.
It's very good to hear po. So sir, we mentioned about respect. Do you think there's a difference between a Filipino Chinese who speaks Mandarin and a Filipino, 100% Filipino who speaks Mandarin?
I guess, nasashock lang sila. Nasashock sila. And that's the time they respect you. Kasi, they don't know that you know how to speak Chinese and then masashock sila and then, okay, they will praise you. So, the amount of respect is already there.
Yes po, I agree with you. I'm also surprised whenever I get to interview 100% Filipino who speaks Chinese. Kasi it's not normal in the Philippines, right? Especially we have a lot of Filipino Chinese.
Yes, ma'am. I agree on that.
I see. So what will be your advices to those Filipinos who are not yet foreign language speaker but would be willing to try foreign language, studying foreign language such as Mandarin?
Take a risk. Wala namang mawawala sa'yo. You just need to study, be hardworking, and then strive for the best. Yun ka dapat. Even though it is a new language, Huwag kang mag-give up. Just continue. Laban lang. Do your best.
I'm very happy to hear that. So I'm down to my very last question, no? So may we ask if you can describe our team in JK Network, especially your recruiter, Miss Rana. How was she able to help you and assist you while finding a job right now?
She actually motivated me to never give up, ma'am. Kasi there are those companies na parang kailangan parang urgent siya na kailangan pumunta ng Manila, na I am still connected pa in this my previous company. So lahat ng opportunities na napapass by ko kasi dahil sa isang struggle. But Ma'am Rana actually helped me na okay lang yan, sir. Ganito, maghahanap pa tayo ng mga ibang companies na who are willing to wait for you. So ako rin naman, ikaw rin as a person, okay to, no? You are parang you are guided, hindi ka iiwan. So guys, for those who are seeking for jobs na kagaya ko na bilingual, why don't you try pumunta sa FB, nandun yung JK Network, just chat one of those beautiful agents.
So Sir Joseph, I'm very thankful for your time. It's a very, very special interview. I really appreciate you, and I hope that you will enjoy your job right now. And if you have any questions, just let us know, and we will be very happy to answer all your questions po. Maraming salamat, Sir Joseph. So Sir Joseph, thank you so much po for giving us a chance to have an interview. Napakaganda po ng sagot nyo. So I will not take much of your time po. I'm very thankful, Sir Joseph, and I hope that JK Network were able to assist you perfectly well po. Maraming salamat.
No question, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Sir Joseph, goodbye po. Have a great day.
Have a great day, ma'am, and stay safe.